The 2008 Chevy Malibu and similar cars is at the top of an ignominious heap, the most recalled GM car. WSJ's Neal Boudette joins us to discuss now. Neal, thank you very much for being there.
Glad to be here, thanks.
So a lot of recalls, a lot of competition to be at the top of the heap, and you found the one. It's the Chevy Malibu family of cars, which is actually quite a few different models.
That's right. These days, automakers make several different models from the same components. So you have the Malibu Max, Saturn Aura, and the Pontiac G6. That family of vehicles accounts for a large chunk of the 15 million that GM has recalled since the beginning of the year. Altogether, those four vehicles account for about 2.4 million. And we highlighted one vehicle, the 2009 Malibu, that's been recalled 5 times. Just to give you a comparison, the 2009 Toyota Camry has been recalled 7 times. So it's a high number, but in terms of the GM recalls, it's that Malibu family that has contributed the bulk.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, I said 2008, 2009, and you got the, we just had a list of the things on the screen there. A heck of a lot of things going wrong there. Why is this all coming to light now? I worked for GM years ago, and recalls I can't remember them being that common, to be honest with you.
Well, cars are far more complicated products today than they were years ago, and that's one issue. If you'll notice that one recall there has to do with an electronic controller. This was an electronic part, a circuit board really, that had a short in it, and it would cause all kinds of 4 or 5 various problems with the brake lights and other sensors. So cars are so complex that you have a lot of these glitches that come up. They're not necessarily life-threatening or going to cause accidents, but they're enough to warrant recalls and have them fixed.
Okay, well, the shift lever being a problem and the power steering being a problem and transmission shift cables, they don't sound like minor problems to me. Anything to do with the actual motion of the car and connecting the engine to the wheels, they sound like a big problem, and I appreciate some of the other things are there. Is this going to be a black eye for these brands specifically and GM as a whole?
Well, I think it already is. I think GM and its brands, Chevrolet, Cadillac, Buick, GMC, have already suffered reputational damage from all of these recalls. But remember, we've seen automakers go through this before. Toyota had problems with sudden acceleration a couple of years ago. They have bounced back from that. Ford, of course, years ago with the Pinto. In the early 2000s, they had the Ford Firestone tire problem, and they've been able to overcome it. It's a tough period for them, but this is not going to put the company out of business in any way.
Well, let's hope not, because I don't think there'll be much appetite for another bailout, would there? Thank you very much. I know you've been all over this story. Great work. Thank you very much. Neal Boudette of the Wall Street Journal.